Welcome to this Shortwave radio channel, and welcome to another video, Shortwave Past and Present. Today, something special in my heart, and I think something special for a lot of long-time listeners of Shortwave, Radio Canada International. Radio Canada International was one of the truly amazing broadcasters on Shortwave. It was one of the most popular shortwave broadcasters around the world, apparently one of the most listened to. So this is pretty interesting. And of course, it all started back in the 30s when there was an idea for a shortwave broadcast service. And what happened is that by the end of 1944, the production facilities and the transmitting plant were ready for test broadcasts. The test began on December 25th, 1944, for the Canadian troops in Europe, both in English and French. So in 1945, it was announced that the CBC International Service was ready, would go on the air for real on February the 25th, and would be named the Voice of Canada. Radio Canada International truly was one of the broadcasters I was very proud of. And not just because I'm Canadian. There is something about Radio Canada International that I think was bringing their broadcast so close to the listeners. And their programs were really, really well made. It was not just Canadian life. It was basically trying to be as neutral and giving the best about Canada, about the world, and explaining the world as a Canadian viewpoint also at the same time. 5960, remember that, was the main evening Radio Canada International broadcast. I remember being mad at 9755 for a reason simple to propagation. Sackville, New Brunswick being far but rather close. There were many shortwave frequencies from Radio Canada that I remember skipping over here in Montreal. But I always managed to listen to, and 5960 usually made it well. It was one of my evening broadcasts after coming back from work. And of course, as you see here, I have a selection of QSL cards that I'm going to show. I started listening back in, of course, 82 with my DX100. 1983 was, of course, the year when I got my first QSL card from them. 1983 is a special year because it's the year of the World Telecommunications. And you see it here. This is my first QSL. QSLs from Radio Canada were yearly. So once a year, they had a new QSL. But what was very interesting is the back of the QSL was actually where you would write your reception report. And you were to send the QSL back to Radio Canada. They would stamp it to say that it was also, it was okay, and that you'd received a verified QSL, which was very unique for a shortwave broadcaster back in the day. Actually, the first QSL that you've seen when I started the video is the only QSL that I actually took the time to do that, because I wanted to have at least one QSL that was officially verified by the broadcaster. And so let's listen a little more. A little later, they changed their interval signal.
This is Radio Canada International on the air with a program of particular interest to Canadians abroad.
Ici Radio-Canada International en ondes avec une émission d'intérêt particulier pour les Canadiens à l'étranger.
Morning news in English and French from the newsrooms of Radio Canada International is transmitted to Europe, the Middle East, and Africa in the 16, 19, 25, 31, 41, and 49 meter bands.
So that interval signal was more of the 60s, 70s, and part of the 80s before they changed their interval signal to something a little more modern with the Radio Canada, the O Canada interval signal with the piano. And the next interval signal I'm going to have here is actually the one that I'm very brings me back in time. Not only the interval signal, but the introduction tune that went into their programming. This truly was what Radio Canada International was part of in my life and sounded like as I was getting into shortwave.
Radio Canada International.
Radio-Canada International.
Radio Canada International.
Radio-Canada International. Ici Radio-Canada International. Nous diffusons vers l'Europe, l'Afrique et le Moyen-Orient sur 17 820, 15 150, 13 690, 13 650, 11 945, 9 805, 7 235, 5 995 et 5 925 kHz dans les bandes des 16, 19, 22, 25, 31, 41 et 49 mètres.
Говорит Канада. В эфире Международное канадское радио. Эту передачу можно слушать на волнах 16, 19, 25, 31, 41 и 49 метров на следующих частотах 6150, 6185, 7265, 9555, 11935, 15325 и 17820 килогерц.
Говорить Канада. Добрий вечір, шановні слухачі. Канадське міжнародне радіо розпочинає свою щоденну українську програму, що транслюється з Монреалю.
So Radio Canada International, what happened? Well, when they were actually sent to the CBC, unfortunately, this is when it all ended very quickly. Shortwave services terminated in June of 2012. Not very long after, unfortunately, the Sackville, New Brunswick transmitter site was torn down. It was done quickly. It was done quickly because some people just didn't want the Voice of Canada back on the air and didn't want to have to deal with that service, unfortunately. This is very sad. Radio Canada International became an internet-only service that I doubt had the audience that the shortwave outlet ever had. And on December 3rd, 2020, RCI announced its staff being reduced even more from 20 to 9. Just to tell you how many people were working for RCI, in 1990, 200 employees were at RCI. And they were, of course, announced that its English and French language sections would close and be replaced by curated content from the domestic CBC. How weird, and what a decision is that to shut down the two main languages of Canada. That just tells you they want to shut it down for good. And so RCI began Punjabi and Tagalog broadcasts, and changes went into effect on May 19, 2021. They're actually hiding the Radio Canada International so well within the CBC site that probably nobody finds it anymore. It's just sad, and it's really, really something that is missed, and I'm pretty sure that it is something we'll be missing in the future. The budget in Canadian dollars for Radio-Canada International before it for its shortwave service, 2003, $14.2 million a year, 2004, $14.4, 2011, $12.3. There were shortwave services out there that spent way more money, and we were there on top of the best with our shortwave programming. There were up to 195 hours per week of programming from Radio-Canada International. There was, of course, another known service that a lot of people might have heard over time, which is the Radio-Canada Northern Service on 9624. That was there for quite a while. And, well, you will be missed. And we will always think of Canada on shortwave, definitely. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.